Good morning. We come to the Aseres Hadibros, and this mind-boggling announcement: Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am your God, Asher Yitzesicha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Right there and then, what's so great about Yetzias Mitzrayim? The Jews left Egypt. They left from a human being's dictatorship, and God split the sea for them, just stopped the waters from coming together, that the Jews should come through. Creating the world is something from nothing. So what kind of comparison is that? Why, if you want people to listen to you, you want people to adhere to you, say that He created the world. So the thing is as follows. When we learn Chassidus, we realize that we are not negating the world. We don't negate the world. But Anochi Hashem Elokecha Asher Yitzesicha me'Mitzrayim was such a great revelation. The whole reason why we left Egypt was to serve God on the mountain. And what happened by Matan Torah, there were two things. One is that Hashem came down on the mountain, and the Torah came down from such a high level, and it came down one level to another level to another level until another level, until it came down to Mount Sinai. And another part of Torah is that it's the Chachma of Hashem, which is way above the world. We have the Torah which is connected to the world, Apayim Shana Kadma Torah La'ilam. The world, the Torah was 2,000 years before the world was created. We know that the Avos also learned Torah. But since it's Alpaim Shana Kadma Torah La'ilam, so it's connected to the world. And it's not 2001 years, it's 2,000 years. So that is all the Torah which is connected to the world. Hashem also, when he created the world, He looked into Torah first. And that was the blueprints of the world. We had the Avis, which the Avis learned Torah. But they fulfilled the Torah according to spiritual worlds. Spiritually. Did not have effect in the world. So therefore, we have Anochi Hashem Elokecha, which happened in Matan Torah, is greater than anything in the world. Another thing we can bring out is that Anochi Hashem Elokecha is the first mitzvah that Rambam brings down. Leida, that there is a Matzui, which He's the first existence in the world. So we see over here is that according to Rambam, Anochi Hashem Elokecha goes on the creation of the world. So basically it does not negate the world, because the whole Torah was implemented that we should delve into the world and bring godliness into the world. And that's what this revelation of Matan Torah happened. That it was such a high level that it can connect the Torah, which is connected with the world. And the world is only with the power of the infinite Torah, which is the Chachma of Hashem. And over there, with this great revelation of coming out of Yetzias Mitzrayim, came a revelation which is higher than any existence. And that's why the Rambam says in Yala Ladas, a person has to go above. And even according to Das, he has to realize She'enei Matzui, that there's a level of God which nothing exists. And that's why we have to draw down by learning Torah. By learning Torah, we are one with God. And not just with God, which is connected to the world, but God, which is way above the world. And that's why when you sit and learn Torah, it's just like you're answering of what God is talking. Or that God answers after you. But you become one with God. And that is the Ma'ila of Matan Torah has an effect on the world. And that's how we learn from Chaya Mushka, which is the Rebbetzin, which our passing was today, the same idea. As Chaya Mushka is the Chayas of Mushka, which is Mushka's ascent, which that brings forth the Akeres Habayis. But you get Chaya with the Yud Kei, Shem Havaya. So everything is connected with the world, which a beautiful home and everything else, that is Mushka. So the idea is, when we come to a certain situation, we know that God is in control, but not just God as He's connected to the world, which is Shem Elikim, which is Gematria Teva, which is Gematria nature, but we connect to God, which is much higher than the world. And Aonecha Hashem Elikecha Shetzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim is talking about the Jewish people. Something which is connected to the Jewish people alone. But Ras Hashemayim V'aretz is the whole world. So we have to know we have the koyach, not just to draw down the godliness which is connected to the world, but not to negate the godliness which is connected to the world. But the connection to the godliness which is connected to the world, we connect also the highest level of God, which is Einay Matzi, which no existence is there. And that gives the koyach that we as human beings should be able to fulfill God's will in this world. And that's why we see by all the Lubavitcher Rebbeim, they had two names. One in Lashon HaKodesh and one in the regular language, the worldly language. You have Doiv Ber, you have Shneir Zalman's Lizman, time. Doiv Ber is a bear. It's a doiv, a bear, and a bear. That means doiv is Hebrew and this is bear. Shalom doiv bear. Yosef Yitzchak. Menachem Mendel. Yitzchak is laughter. which what brings simcha into the home is the woman. And Menachem Mendel. So most of the Rebbeim. But the idea is to bring the highest levels to the lowest level. That means when we see the Baal Shem Tov wanted to get the Baruch Hashem by each and every Yid, to open up his mouth and say Baruch Hashem, which that is the idea of bringing the highest level of God into the lowest levels. And that's why we start with Aneichi Hashem Elokecha Asher Tzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. And that's why also a lot of the Aseret Sedibris is practical things. Not to kill, not to kidnap. These are things which the others also kept. All normal people keep these things, that you don't kill people, and you don't do things which destroy the world. To tell us, Hashem does not want the upper worlds. Asher Yitzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Hashem wants. That the Mitzrayim itself brings out the greatness of the Jewish people. We take from the world which it does not look good and we transform it to Kedusha. Never think that you cannot bring godliness in every aspect of the world. A Beinoni, intermediate person, he never does have an Aveira. But the Machshavas come to him to want to do an Aveira, and he pushes it away. But he fights his whole life. And that's what we have to do. Don't fall into the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara is experienced. But we have the power of God to overcome him. And be joyful that whatever God does is for the good. All the things that God does is to, even if it's bad, you have the power to transform it to good. You have the power to heal someone that is sick by being positive, by bringing out the joy of God into your being. Which that is the saying, think good will be good. So many stories with the Rebbe. The Rebbe said, think good will be good. We cannot fall in the trap of the Yetzer Hara. And we have that koyach from Matan Torah. Aneichi Hashem Elokecha Asher Tzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. That no matter which level we are, we can transform it to good and bring healing to the world. Our Avodah is not to fall into the world. Our Avodah is to transform the world. Asher Tzisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim. The leaving of Egypt brought the greatness of the Jewish people. And there's a lashon asher lo yisecheta. Asher lo yisecheta means that you didn't sin. It comes up to your mind, but you don't fall into it. And that brings out the Jewish power of being a true Jew and being connected to the God which created the world, and be connected to the God that took us out of Egypt, and that we don't discredit the creating of the world. It's connected with us because we draw down and we connect the world with a higher level. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever. Long live our Master, Teacher, and Rebbe, King Mashiach, forever and ever.